In the latest episode of SciShow Kids, we talked about some of the weird ways that animals have gone extinct. But those poor critters are off our worries because they're all pretty ancient history. What about today's big, scary extinction event? Are we doomed to meet the same fate as the dodo bird? Well, maybe not, but it helps to know how previous life on Earth managed to survive so many mass extinctions and how they didn't. And what better place to start than at the beginning? Okay. By beginning I mean 145 million years ago. It's the height of the Cretaceous period and life is good. Our story begins in the supercontinent of Gondwanaland, which today is mostly made up of South America, Africa and Australia. Imagine that you've just woken up from a nice nap. You shake off your sleep and catch a juicy beetle before taking off toward the familiar watering hole. Along the way, you pass herds of other sauropods like you, maybe even your favorite relative who's also your crush. After all, it is the height of the Cretaceous. It's hot, it's steamy and everyone's ready to mate. Then suddenly the ground trembles beneath your feet. When you look up, you see a bright light coming from the sky, but it's too far away to make out any details. Maybe it's just another one of those no-good comets again. These space rocks have been buzzing around the Earth for millions of years. Sometimes they get a little too close for comfort, but this time you know that there's nothing to worry about. You take a deep breath and continue on to the watering hole, satisfied that nothing will ever disturb your perfect day. And then it hits you. Something heavy crashes into the planet and sends up a giant plume of dust and rock. You feel the heat from the impact, and when you finally get a good look at the sky, you realize that the light was not a comet, but an asteroid. The real impact shakes the entire planet. In fact, it's the biggest natural disaster that has ever occurred on Earth. It's so powerful that it kills off 3/4 of all species on the planet, including your favorite sauropod relative who was also your crush. That day marks the end of the Cretaceous period and the beginning of the Paleogene, but that's only the beginning of your story. Over the next few decades, new volcanoes pop up all over the globe, releasing gases and ash into the atmosphere. Plants die off and the food supply for herbivores disappears. Without enough plant life, the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere slowly gets used up, meaning less photosynthesis and more of it gets trapped inside the planet. The water cycle slows down and rain falls less frequently, leading to widespread drought. All the while, the dust from the asteroid impact starts to fall back to Earth, covering the land in a layer of clay. This catastrophe causes massive climate change and ends the age of dinosaurs. Okay, now stop imagining your sauropod crush dying a horrible and slow death. Take a deep breath. It's okay. They're really, really dead. The asteroid impact at the end of the Cretaceous wasn't the first mass extinction event. Life on Earth has been on a bit of a roller coaster lately. There was the Ordovician-Silurian extinction about 440 million years ago, the late Devonian extinction about 360 million years ago, and the Permian-Triassic extinction, aka the Great Dying, about 250 million years ago. Each of these events wiped out a bunch of species, but each time life found a way to come back. So what was so special about the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event? Well, for one thing, it's the most famous, thanks to Hollywood. We all know that asteroids can kill a lot of things very quickly, including your sauropod crush. For another, it's the most recent, and although it happened 66 million years ago, it's still having repercussions today. Scientists estimate that the asteroid impact raised sea levels worldwide by more than 200 meters. As the dead stuff floating in the ocean decomposed, tons of organic matter sank to the seafloor and became a rich source of nutrients. This kick-started a whole new ecosystem of weird and wonderful creatures, including the ancestors of modern whales, dolphins, bats, and primates. But none of them seemed to stick around long enough to tell their side of the story. The Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event also gave rise to a group of animals that did manage to become the dominant land vertebrates, us birds. We descended from small flightless relatives of modern ostriches and emus. We evolved the ability to fly again, probably because the extinction event wiped out so much competition. That means that every time you hear someone say that the dinosaurs are extinct, You should correct them. They're wrong, kind of. We're kind of the same thing, but different. So don't blame us if we get annoyed when people ask us to play Jurassic Park for them. Okay, now go outside, touch grass, and realize that the end of the Cretaceous was actually pretty hot. Then come back inside and watch this video about what would happen if a meteor hit New York City.